Good morning. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. I'm gonna turn the game down a tidge. Yeah, how's the volume? How's everything? I didn't pop out chat. Let me do that. Sorry, I haven't streamed in a couple weeks. Had me scared for a second. Mixed up what time it is. Anxiety went through. Hey, don't. I appreciate that you put so much stake in me, but I don't think I deserve that much. If I'm causing you anxiety, that's not good. That's not good for either of us. We gotta move past that. Anyway, the stream, like, so I made my coffee. I did my vocal warm up. Because I'm basically gonna go. Well, maybe not right from stream. We'll see how long the stream goes. But I have a voiceover recording thing at 1 o'clock. Actually, let me just check Discord and double check that's the case. Yeah, no, yeah, that definitely is the case. I have a voiceover recording thing in like a few hours. So this stream cannot be of infinite length. No, but but I just like hit go live, so that I could like run upstairs and grab my coffee. And then when I come back, like YouTube, when you stream, it will like automatically, once you go live, it'll automatically show the chart with like CCV, concurrent viewership. And then like when Cold Blooded showed up just a second ago, it like spiked to 1 and then down to 0. And I thought it was funny because it's like YouTube is like, you will be confronted by your own inadequacies, and it's like cool, thanks, great way to start my Easter / 420. I don't know, it's nuts. And that's why I don't like put too much stake in the like viewership and chatting rate and stuff. Is like, if anything, I would want that to be probably like the most changeable part of the stream, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I can't provide infinite good vibes for infinite amount of people, but like streaming and entertainment media as a whole can be like a force multiplier when it comes to relaxation and relief, I think, right? Because like I get to provide joy to many people, potentially. I know my reach isn't that big right now, but it's like the potential is there, at least for me, and that is like what makes it worthwhile, or at least promising. So yeah. Also, if you hear like this noise, it's because I'm fiddling around with, I have some old Lego NXT Mindstorms stuff that I'm trying to fiddle around with to like make some kind of, I want to make like a robotic arm, but I don't think I have enough motors to like make anything reasonable. We'll see though. Don't even know what's about, so you can't spoil anything if you wanted to, but you wouldn't. So it's a lot of hedging bets. Yeah. Yeah, I know that it's like some weird like commentary on video games, so I don't know. The end is never. Great. The end is loading. The end is never, the end is never, the end is loading never. This game's like 12 years old, by the way.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Stanley!
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, the sensitivity is really high. I'm gonna turn that down first. Oh, and the mouse, like the setting's really low. Yeah, so let's like cut that in half. There we go. That's better.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
No, wait, I didn't mean to do that.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh, did that just like start me over? Here it comes. Congrats. You get to start the game.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Nope.
What could it mean?
All right.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
One guy whose job is just to sharpen pencils. Oof. Who farted? Indeed. Oh. No,
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
yeah, I don't care, dude. I'm gonna touch it anyway. I like work, I just hate my boss. Ah. I'm gonna look at this for a little bit. The game is a bit loud, can barely hear you. Alright, we can fix that. Alright. Hopefully that's a bit better. I can't really turn up my mic anymore. But the game's down at least. I'm gonna see if the narrator says anything if I just stare at this for a while. It's a very pretty picture. Where do you think it is? But hey, it looks like I already got one ending, which was to shut myself in the room. Alright. Username access. I'm just like clicking buttons. Also, I can only turn computers off, not on. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I can crouch. Let's see what this says. Knowing your city. Before you can possibly know where to begin your new... straight vending operation? You first have to get to know your city. I'll use Georgetown as an example in this book, but in order to really get the knowledge, it's best to explore. Oh, that's a not-so-subtle hint. Numbers are counting down, which I don't really know is good. 4B3. Huh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yep.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Or B not yet, that's... Let me open these doors, dang it. Oh.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yep. Drinking it all.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Mm-hmm. Sure is, buddy. So, narrator, how's your day going?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Nope. I don't think you are. I'm gonna remain ignorant. Alright. Coffee nut. Nut. And all the mugs. Very appropriate that I'm like drinking coffee, I guess. I would make this a background and then just have it, you know what, this is probably a VR chat world, actually, now that I think about it. Remind me to look into that later. At least that's what you'd do if you were in Stanley's situation. What, nut or drink coffee? Or just stand around? Anyway. Alright, fine, I'll heed the call. Jesus.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room, and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, cool. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Right, yeah, gotcha. Okay. Anyway. Moving on.
Look,
Oh, I
Stanley,
didn't read
I
what the
think
sign
perhaps
said.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are
Yep.
you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Danger. Danger everywhere. Alright, I need to find a key card. That's gonna be my goal for the stream, is find that key card that goes into that thing, if there is one. Which, to be fair, I don't actually know that there is. Alright, anyway. Very Portal vibes, I guess? I don't know.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh yeah, I'm colorblind.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah.
Do you not think I put a lot
It
of
was.
time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Yeah.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's
Okay.
take a look.
Yeah, let's. Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Ah, okay. I see, I see. Oh wow, people have done so many speedruns of it. Jesus. Stanley Ford. Huh. Why not ask some friends for help? Error. Friends list empty. Huh. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. A dead rat.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I'm gonna be dishonest, but sure.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to
comedy
give
stuff?
it some
Oh, yeah,
playtesting.
it's excellent.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
The way
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of
Comment
play
about friends
to
to
make
have
sure
you
it's
hurt.
effective.
Don't feel
Be
too bad.
sure to keep notes on your experience.
No, I'm just gonna let it burn.
You heartless bastard.
Yep.
Did you
that's
do
me.
it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if
Both.
it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Alright, what are you gonna load us into? Minecraft? I called it!
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then... Let's see, what does it need?
I think I maybe
yes,
had
of
seen this
course,
before, and so
just to
I
finish it all
subconsciously knew
off,
it would be Minecraft.
yes.
But also, like,
It's
Minecraft's a very popular
complete.
game, so it's not a super
I
editor.
made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Okay, sure.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay, sure. And so we descend. And I can't jump, so I can't go back up
Oh
either.
my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Nope.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Eh. And I just heard the spiders. It was just getting fun. Oh, hey, it's Portal.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Oh, hey.
Oh!
Didn't take
It's a
long to get to
puzzle.
Portal.
Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
I'm actually just gonna stand here. See what happens. You're confused about the whole thing? Just go along with it. It's all vibes. It is everything and nothing. I am enjoying this so far. I don't think... It's not making for a great streaming experience. I don't think, at least, because I'm not, like, talking a whole lot. I mean, I get to, you know, kind of just, like, delay every now and again and mess around and do what I want, which is fun. But I don't know. It's a great game for sure. Just, and I definitely agree, like, what the hell is this? But I'm vibing with it. Going to be a normal playthrough and then it went off the rails. Oh no, I like, malicious compliance is my bread and butter. And actually, this isn't even malicious compliance. This is non-compliance, what I've been doing. Straight up, I have been not complying the entire time. Come on, narrator, say something. Alright, fine.
Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through anymore.
Woo! Let's go. Okay, anyway. Uh-oh. Don't even care anymore, this is awesome. I think I... Oh, here we go. Okay. I definitely walked off the wrong side of the map because of, like, loading and whatnot, but... kind of just vibing now. I have no idea where I'm going. Okay, that's gonna be something. I'm gonna go away from that. Oh, hey, it's the two doors. No ironic ending. Oh, but it started me over here, which was through the left door. Interesting. Alright. Okay, I veer slightly to the left when I walk forward. Like, I'm just holding the W key, but it's making me, like, walk left as well as forward, which is annoying. So I don't really know what's up with that. Anyway, moving on. Either that or, like, the world is shifting around me, which is also possible. Anyway, I think I've explored all I want to see around here. Oop. So, actually, like, that's an interesting realization, is that, like, exploration isn't done when you've done everything. Exploration is done when you feel satisfied. And, like, that's why I'm, like, playing this game, is to kind of, like, have those thoughts and to, like, be able to put those things into words, right? Because a lot of this is about, or at least what it seems to be about so far, is, like, how we play games, how we follow instructions. And so, like, in terms of exploration, right? Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go explore because I think I want to make sure that I'm not closed off, as doors have literally been being shut behind me. I don't know. There's probably been a lot of think pieces on this. What is going on in there? Clicky, clicky. Huh. Man, I can't even interact with anything. This is just here. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I think that if you like that guy, a game that seems a lot like this from what I've seen other people play is Slay the Princess. But it's like if you took this but made it a cosmic horror.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Alright, you know what, let's comply this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah, that's correct. Can not go back. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Ah, yes. Ideas development, not cost efficient. Standardize graphs 40 times wide. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda, reflect. Employee Jim. Which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more charts. The boss appreciation minute. Alright. That's actually some 1984 type stuff. This kind of person who initiates conflict. Why did we hire you? Right now you're both of them. What are your dreams about the future? Plant life, spring break, hope, pollution. Eh? Posture. Yeah. Alright, and it started over. Broom closet. Can I go in here? I totally can. Nice.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, I won't. I'm not even gonna turn around. I'm sorry, I can't go
here.
like
No
3
choice
steps
to make,
without...
No path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Alright, you know what? I will resist my better urges
It was
and...
baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yeah.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I want to spite you, is my explanation.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
Yep.
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
And that's why I like
I would
it.
have thought to mention it.
You didn't mention it, but
Maybe
the game
to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending?
The broom closet ending was my favourite.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
I'm gonna say that. And my friends
Stanley
will say
was
they
fat
find
and
that
ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Yep.
That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is
Both.
addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yep. Correct. All of it.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Correct.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological
You didn't include they.
vulnerabilities. It's
How dare.
indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
One sec. Okay. Let's see if you have anything more to say. I'll give it a few minutes. Might take a bit for the flag to trip. And I finished my coffee. Woohoo! Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Also, why does the rope have a... I mean, I guess that's just how the spool is made, but it looks like a radiation symbol. Alright, well, broom closet's my favorite. No other reason than despite the narrator. Yeah, this honestly does feel like the average Stanley Parable stream. Just like... Hey, let's immediately disobey the narrator and see what happens. I guess it's really a battle of like how long until I get tired of, you know, silence basically, right? Which was already said earlier. So like already I have been read like a book by the narrator, which is, I don't know, funny. Like, congrats, you have successfully predicted, or like, it's sort of this weird thing where the maker of this game, excuse me, defined the scope as like being able to escape the narrator. Gotta go, gonna have guests coming over for Easter, goodbye. Happy Easter, and have a good one. But yeah, just like, the game maker defined the scope such that you could defy the narrator, but they also made it so that the narrator would, you know, it doesn't have like infinite dialogue, so. Anyway, alright, fine.
Second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, fine. Yeah, sure. Alright, we'll keep going up the stairs. Oh, this is fancy. I want to see the bathroom, dang it. Alright, anyway. This is cool.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Boss.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm gonna see if there's any clues.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Yeah. No, the narrator is right. I couldn't possibly know the combination.
2845.
No, look, I'm obeying the narrative. Stanley doesn't know the combination.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in,
Yeah.
and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Nope, sorry, bud. Oh. Alright. Anyway. Alright, there's nothing back there, it looks like. Can't see anything anyway. Hello. Alright, I'll push the button.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I want to defy, but I'm gonna defy.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Alright, I'm expecting a jump scare.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
See you later, narrator. Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
That was unexpected, to have a different narrator. I didn't know that existed.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Huh. Dang. I didn't even expect this. I knew that there was some stuff, but...
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
From the beginning of the game, the path of Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Stanley's computer. Huh. I like this. This reminds me of a game called Cypher, where you try to, like, decrypt like, certain codes. The pacing of this opening section was important to get it right. This corridor had been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches two doors in a good time. All of this could be lies, is the other thing. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it. Exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Office computers. I can turn these off too. No solitaire. Button sounds. A selection of sounds is used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. The office. Yeah, testing different color patterns, and looks like number 1 is what they went with. Hey, we get the credits. Nice. Davey Redden and William Pugh. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Yeah, the rightmost one is frightening. The office clock. And it has been progressing in time. Maybe. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of the game. Yeah. Employee lounge.
When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source.
Over 2 years of development. These are clips from the early takes that were not used in the final game. Wait, I want to hear it.
Finally, he pushed them up the line.
It's only like whispers. What the heck?
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design.
Oh, they're like laying over each other.
It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively to have even
Huh.
Good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Push the number Here, 4. I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Huh. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development.
Stanley pushed the number 6.
Huh. Interesting that it doesn't, like, give you raw access to it. It just, like, kind of overlays it. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending, the game's alpha. I haven't reached the freedom ending. What the heck? This game is just, like, letting it spoil itself. Which is interesting. Like, I've never seen a game do that. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown end. So, countdown ending? Freedom ending as it existed in the beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. Wait, what? The countdown room. An early version of the countdown room. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. Players would pull a lever in there to describe what color they pulled. Zending model. Huh. And thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it shortly before launch. Hmm? Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Huh. I guess, is that still an ending? The Zending. Alright. Oh. We ran 4 major teasers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Huh. Oh, this reminds me of The Witness, actually. Just like being able to kind of like openly explore and get some of the creator's thoughts. Meeting room. To confusion ending. The other entrance would be hidden depending on how you entered. Lounge. Vent? What? One doorway back to the lounge and the other back on track option. Huh. I'll have to try the vent. The flow of hallways following the first 2 doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Alright, so I guess we'll check the maintenance. So I don't think the vent is the choice, because that's the complex one. So it's not actually telling me which one is real. Huh. In previous version, choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Huh. The cargo lift. was always intended to offer the choice of staying or jumping on a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Okay, good to know I can get that. Second version, functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo is actually stored. Fair enough. Early version of the lounge. Stanley Parable HD remix. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. We submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight. Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which was still enough to win the community's approval. Nice. Well, the game featured capybaras. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Wow. Greetings, omnipotent voice. As much as small badger in swim trunks. Huh. Warzone. What? Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, and we're back here. I got an achievement for trying to press spacebar so many times. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011. Second in March 2012. Third in February 2013. Game design mock-up. This leveled up William, the level designer, set Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Alright, sure.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now.
Alright, let's try it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay,
Stanley
doing
decided to go to
special.
the
Let's
meeting
try
room.
getting to that
Perhaps
again.
he had simply missed a memo. When
Okay, so I
Stanley
need to go
came to a
left,
set of two
escape.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I need to go to the boss's room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wonder if I do things too fast, if that's going to be an issue.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay, I'll admit, you got me. You got me good, narrator.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I wonder if I can follow the thing down. Anyway,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
okay, we're gonna go escape.
Although this passageway had the word
And then
escape
death.
written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yes, yes.
The door behind
Why
him
am I,
was
like,
not
constantly
shut.
drifting to the
Stanley
left?
still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Okay. Now we have to just wait for a bit.
As the
Go
machine
through,
whirred
turn
into
it
motion
off.
and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Correct.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Yep, thanks.
Farewell,
you, second narrator.
Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay, so interestingly, the compulsion to defy the first narrator led me to
And yet it would be just a few minutes
obey the
before
second
Stanley
narrator.
would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
So,
Oh,
So, yeah,
look
so I
at
should still
these two.
defy this
How
narrator.
they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
okay, so let's get Stanley,
Listen to me.
let's get
You
Stanley
can
killed.
still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Okay. So it does just kill you. Alright, black screen. Good sign. Man, it's just like not gonna do anything, huh? Well, we might sit here in the void for a little bit. Might sit here for 3 days. Dunno. Feeling cheeky. You know, open up my tomb after 3 days. Huh.
All of his co-workers were
Let's just see if I hit this. Ah, dang. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Alright,
What could it mean?
let's go on the card.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Because I want to go to the lounge again and see if there's that vent.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
This isn't the same layout, though, because it doesn't head directly to the lounge.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
I guess there's no, like, vent or anything in here. I've been bamboozled.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nah, we go into confusion ending.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get
That's
back,
correct.
he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Is that the only choice you're gonna offer me? I'm not gonna go left. You know what? Out of spite. Not gonna do it. I will stare at it. Like staring at an unopened bottle of vermouth when making a martini. Is that really the only choice? I don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect from this game, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Is that, like, it's so good at, like, expecting everything you're going to try, but at the same time, like, you don't know everything you're going to try. So you end up trying everything in the hopes that you will do something unexpected. But you can't, because it's all been anticipated, or you don't have enough room to do enough that it isn't. Ugh. I'm hurting my brain already. This might have to be a short stream. I'm just, like, hurting my brain early.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, 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 not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah, sure.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Uh-huh. Alright, sure. I'm not gonna do anything if I go back through here. Alright, fine, be that way. Let's see what you have for me. Oh, hello.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Alright, let's go see the mind
All of his
control.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything
We're
when we
still
were back in that
the
room with all
ending.
the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here
This
somewhere.
is good.
Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I want to go through here. What the heck? Okay, looks like I can go through here. Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Uh-oh. I see. Okay. We're in it's one of those. One of those all roads lead to...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I was not prepared for that. Alright, let's see if it keeps, Oh, hello.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Sure. I'm down. I don't remember that.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Oh, and we're gonna go around in circles. I see.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Yeah.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Nope.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Yep. We're gonna follow this to... Oh.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Dang it. Branching paths again.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay. Guess you're not really giving me a choice. Thought it would give me a choice, but no.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Sure.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah, that's loud. Okay, that is actually really loud. Oh my god. I just checked my levels. Okay, hopefully that's better. I'm gonna have to turn that back up in a minute, but... Yeah, can you please stop the music? Oh, man. Okay, are we real? Fine. I'll just keep going and hope that the music stops. This is getting messy. I'm getting worried. Boy, 6. Getting up there. Help. Send help, please. I'm so confused. Monthly ledgers, corporate imbalances, financial records. Oh, Jesus. Even now, like, I'm not specifically following the line. I'm just, like, generally following it.
Music. Go back.
Oh,
and look
thank
at
God.
that fern.
Ow.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
This firm? Oh, the fern. Like the plant. F-E-R-N. Okay.
Wait, we're back at the office? No.
Okay.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
The line has a consciousness, I guess, and the line was driven mad by the upbeat music. Oh. Oh, and we're back here. Funny.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Yeah. Alright, hopefully this is the last one.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Yeah.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh, my head hurts. Mostly from the loud music. Just gonna turn the game back up. Alright, sure. I just want to get back to the normal game.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay, so that does just like fold in on itself. Okay, sure. Let's follow the four-dimensional hallway. Okay, keeping it going. Nice, you love to see it. Definitely went in circles too many times, but, you know, we're here.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I mean, I can't not. Wow, just the amount of thought put into this.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Are you gonna open both doors? Alright, fine. You've been playing the confusion
What's
ending
this?
for 16 minutes.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to
both
restart the
doors
game
lead here.
eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My
Simply
mind goes
attempt to make up a
blank
story
simply
here.
because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped.
Yeah, the game
Does that
restarts
mean
on its own.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Ow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So, are we still in the confusion ending?
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about
Now
this
it
room
has me
that
questioning it
called
because
so
it's
deeply and
revealed
so
the tropes to
personally
me
Stanley?
and, like, gained my
Its
trust.
grace, its subtle charm. No,
But-
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
Oh
first
god.
open door on his left.
I'm confused. My brain's hurting. Is it... I don't think I'm in the confusion ending anymore. I think that the confusion
Stanley was
ending...
so bad at following directions,
schedule
it's
was like a
incredible
red
he wasn't
herring.
fired years ago.
Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift. $5,000. Alright, let's take the
Look,
cargo
Stanley,
lift
I think
to
perhaps
the
we've
end
gotten off on
this
the
time.
wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Yep.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Ah, yeah. Common
I
mistake.
can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's
Yep.
as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did
Yep.
you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind
All
of
of the
risk on
above.
my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
Okay.
But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you
Oh
begin to
my
wonder
God.
if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and
Yeah,
the
true.
feeling should subside. At this time, your
It does not.
instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Alright. I can still pause at least.
Welcome back.
Oh.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. I noticed that you're not allowing me to jump off
Now
the
that
cargo
we know
lift.
your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as
But it's
possible
a story I can
before
play,
the
nonetheless.
narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Alright. I'll bite. Again, another key card slot. Okay.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Okay, sure.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. Of course I'm gonna go to the right.
No! Why did you do that?
Eh.
Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh. Yeah, it won't let me push this any further. Dang. Although it might be too late. Hopefully I'm too late. Nah, I guess not. Oh.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage?
So I guess if I had gone through the
It's
left, I
worthless
could still
now.
salvage
And
it?
what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do
I don't know. You gotta find the
No, I
answer for
have
yourself,
to.
narrator.
I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Okay.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
Yep.
What, did you think that would be funny?
Yes.
You just had to see?
Yes.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story.
I'm just in touch with my inner
If you'd
child.
just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, let's try it again. Let's run it back.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Is it just
follow my
restarting
lead
me
and
here
you'll
as like
be
a
fine.
checkpoint?
All right.
I'm gonna keep
When
trying
Stanley
going to the
came
right.
a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly,
Okay.
hurry.
Okay, it is just automatically restarting me. Alright, fair
Behave
enough.
Exactly as Stanley would.
I'm-
That
I-
means choosing
like,
responsibly
but I have
and
to know
always
if that
putting the
was
story first.
intentional.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Alright,
Just
I'm gonna
follow
spend
my
a few
lead
more
and you'll be
tries
fine.
going
All
to the right door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as
Okay,
Stanley
fine.
would.
I give up.
That
I
means
give in.
choosing
If there's another
responsibly and
ending
always
by
putting
perpetually
the
going to the
story
right, I'm not gonna
first.
find
I'm
it.
quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, it says
Yet
not
there was not a
deteriorated.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright, how long until the story deteriorates? Oh,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
so it really is just like blocking me off of other endings within this ending? Yep, no bathroom. It's taking away context clues.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Huh.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind
Business
this door lay
strategy,
all
shoot
the answers
pandas.
to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115. Actually, it doesn't appear that it's
the
going to
code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Yeah, you're not recording me, buddy. You don't have access to my microphone. This is not...
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yes.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please
No.
speak the code into the receiver.
I
Otherwise
did.
we can't get
It was
on
kind
with
of
the story.
embarrassing.
This is a crucial step.
Look, I already tried it, buddy. Not doing
Okay,
it again.
Fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Huh. I don't even know what ending that was.
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
This is amazing. Like, and part of it is because I'm interpreting it as like, okay, so if I play this and then play Slay the Princess in the future, which I'm very looking forward to, maybe not on stream, but just the necessity of like the narrator and the protagonist existing together is like what I'm fixated on.
Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Huh. Okay, that feels like a good place to call it. My brain hurts. Happy Easter, y'all.